Guys, what's up? My name's Swords, and today I'm going to teach you how to play the Human Torch in Marvel Rivals. Huge thanks to the devs for giving me access to the mid-season patch early. This video is not just going to read out his abilities in the practice range, it's actually going to tell you how to play him and prepare you for ranked. Most of you are about to find out that the Human Torch is actually kind of hard. So listen closely as we go through a summary of his abilities with tips so you can understand everything I talk about in this video. First, his primary fire. All you need to know is this is a projectile that spreads the further away it travels. Its damage is pretty good up close, enough to dump into tanks. But the further away it travels, the damage drops off by a lot, similar to Season 0 Storm. And there is a short delay from when you start this attack and the moment it actually shoots from Johnny's hand. This is going to be a weird attack in the beginning for most of you, so don't feel bad if you're whiffing a lot of your shots. I'll tell you that what I found helpful in landing more shots is by tapping my primary fire for calculated shots instead of holding it down and trying to track the enemy. Tap every time you want to fire. Do not hold it down until you're comfortable with this attack. The most important ability he has is going to be Blazing Blast, and this is going to be the fuel to your flames with this character. The key to success in playing him like a god. If you want to get good at Johnny, get really good in using this ability. This is his alternate fire, which you can throw to create flame fields which deal damage to enemies close. But more importantly, these flame fields interact with your other abilities that I'm about to tell you about. Blazing Blast also stacks damage if you put them on top of one another. This will help you take out enemy deployables like Penny's Nest or Groot's walls. Direct hits with these against enemies on the ground will damage the enemy and ignite the ground, but direct hits against targets high enough from the ground does not create flame fields. Your Blazing Blast does have splash damage though, so it can still be useful against targets near surfaces or hugging walls. You can only create flame fields on ground surfaces, not on walls or ceilings. So keep that in mind. If you activate his Power Prison ability, it connects any flame fields on the ground with each other to create flame walls. Now these flame walls, the first time the enemy passes through, they take burst damage, but only the first time after that, it's just static damage. You can also create an enclosed area with your flame walls, and any enemies inside take damage over time. This ability will help you create space for the team, and you can create large spaces with this ability to cover a wide area. I'll explain how this is useful later on in the video. His Flaming Meteor ability allows him to dive towards the ground, dealing damage to any enemies hit. But also, if he dives on any flame fields of his, they explode, which deals really good damage. And each exploding flame field that you detonate does its own damage. So this could be strong in certain situations since it stacks on top of each other. Keep in mind, you have to be a certain height away from the ground and at a certain angle in order to activate the dive. His Plasma Body ability allows you to hold your binding to move faster, and you can also melee in this state without it canceling your speed boost too. He's got two team-ups, one with Storm and the other with Invisible Woman. With the Invisible Woman team-up, he gets a new ability that generates bonus health over time, which increases his survivability by a lot, especially as a flying target. Then, his Omega Fire team-up basically super buffs Storm, allowing her ultimate to do an insane amount of damage that KOs through support ultimates. But also, her buffed ultimate increases the size of any flame tornadoes, which also do more damage. This team up is cracked, and I fear Storm is now basically perma-banned because of this. Those are his abilities. Now let's talk about his playstyle. The first thing I have to say is that he is not a 3-star difficulty hero. I would say he's more 3.5 to 4 stars. There's a lot more than I thought that goes into this character than I was ready for, because he's a flying hero who sometimes wants to keep his distance and other times wants to get in close. A lot of you are going to be trying to figure out what range you should be playing him at, because at a distance you won't feel like you're getting a lot of damage or value compared to when you're up close. But I figured it out. So what you want to do is try to play him similar to Storm by sticking with your team and hovering around them, mainly trying to create space with your Pyro Prison and Blazing Blast abilities to support your team. The goal is to deny the enemy space to play in, prevent them from staying in the same position, punish them for playing in your flames, stay together with your team to find more opportunities. Flanking on your own, you're going to be vulnerable and stick out like a sore thumb. Only take the 1v1s where you can get a lot of value out of your flame fields, like small rooms or when they're backed into a corner. What you really want to do is mix in your Blazing Blast with your primary attack. Just back and forth, just mix it in with each other. In situations where the enemy tank gets too close and pushes your team back, attacking with both your primary fire and alternate fire adds a lot of value and is very punishing to your enemies. Remember, at a distance, your primary primary fire is tickle damage, but up close, it feels like a heavy hit. So make sure you land those shots up close, but mix in your alternate fire at the same time so you could also cover your area with flame walls or use your dive attack to explode for extra damage. Keep an eye on where the enemy is and where your team is. Sometimes you'll notice the tank is directly beneath you, or you could just pelt him with damage. Don't forget about what's directly underneath you. Save up your blazing blast so you can cover as much area as possible before using it. And sometimes it's better to use the line the flame walls create to damage the enemy if they're playing around cover or predictable paths. And when you see an opportunity to finish off someone low, and you know you can survive, and they're around your flame fields, you'll be able to get in close to finish off those targets. His damage potential is spread out across his entire kit. Focus on denying the enemy space with your flame fields and flame walls, and the opportunities will come to you. Your team up with Invisible Woman allows you to survive so much more than you really should, and is extremely useful for situations against duelists where you can expect to take damage. Against certain heroes, it's going to feel like they can't really do anything to you while this ability is active because you're generating bonus health as you lose it. For your movement ability, Plasma Body, I really recommend you go to your settings, go to Human Torch, go to Hero, then change Hold to activate Plasma Body. Turn this off. You want this ability to be toggled. It's going to help your movement so much more, trust me. Also, your dive ability doesn't always have to be used defensively. You can still use it to escape a bad situation and regroup with your team if you have the height and the distance. For your ultimate ability, the team up with Storm is incredible, and I think you can outdamage most support ultimates, which is going to be really good against triple support. You really want to use the scoreboard or communicate with your Storm to use your ultimates together. Try to combo these as they do so much damage together, and it would be insane not to do if both of you are on the same team. If you don't have a Storm, setting up a perimeter with your flame walls to surround the enemy before you use your ultimate is going to give you that edge and add more damage for your flame tornadoes. You want to use this when the enemy is packed together, which is going to be super helpful in tight hallways or tight map geometry where they're forced to be clumped together. Throw out as many tornadoes as you can, but spread them around just a bit or around the objective or whatever space they're playing in, as these last for quite a bit. They'll even last after your ultimate ends. The whole mindset for the Human Torch is area denial and preventing the enemy from playing where they want. Now let me tell you things that you need to look out for. First of all, you are not going to do great against a good flanker. You need to look out for them. A good Spider-Man is all it takes to shut you down and will be difficult to play against. Also, other flying heroes I can see being really challenging to deal with, as they're more difficult to hit with your primary attack, and you can't really dive them, you can't use your flame walls and fields. You got to get really good with your primary fire to hit these targets. This is a character that's going to feel weird to learn and play in the beginning. Or maybe not, because you're watching my video. But when it clicks, then you're really going to start to see the opportunities and know when to play them. Just remember to play around your team. Hover around your team, play around them, let the opportunities come to you. Keep in mind where your healers are, because as we all know, typically flying heroes don't get healed as often since they're above the team. So I don't know about you, but I'm playing this character when the enemy is sticking together, mostly on the ground, and doesn't have too much hit scan or answers to deal with Human Torch. This is really going to be a good character to swap to when the enemy team is clumped together and playing around a lot of space. He's going to be good against group too, because you can stack your flames on those walls and destroy them pretty quickly. And up close, your primary attack will destroy those walls in like 2 hits. That's pretty much all there is to it, and I hope you find this video helpful. If you want to keep me in your rotation for Marvel Rivals content, hit that subscribe button and like the video if you want more. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and peace out.